Hey guys, it's Ms. Phelps. Today is lesson 1.3, Rearranging Equations and Formulas. Alright, we're going to solve the literal equation 3y plus 4x equals 9 for y. So our goal here, since we're solving for y, that means we want to get y all alone. So we can see here that we've got two different variables. We've got y's and x's. But we just care about getting y by itself. So we're still going to remember the steps that we talked about last time. So we need to first get rid of our addition and our subtraction, and then we need to get rid of our multiplication and division. So in this problem we've got some addition going on right here. So we're going to go ahead and just get rid of our 4x and take them to the other side. So 4x minus 4x is 0, so that cancels out and leaves us with 3y on this side, and 9 minus 4x on this side. And we can't combine these because we don't have like terms. This one has an x and this one does not. Now we have this 3 that is being multiplied to y, so we are just going to divide. And then we can just divide by everything on that side. So y is left alone, which is what we want. And then we can't really simplify any further, so we'll just bring everything down. We could write it like this, or we could just put the whole thing over 3. So we could just get rid of him like that. All right, and that is our answer. Okay, we're going to solve this next one for x. And we can see that we've got x's over here and x's over here. But this is kind of tricky because we can't just simply combine them because we have this z over here. So we can see that x is timesing to 3 and x is timesing to 5z. So what we need to do is the opposite of distributing. So if we want to do the opposite of distributing, we need to take the x out of both of these and put them back on the outside. So that will look like this. X, and then if we take the x out, that just leaves 3. And if we take the x out of this one, that leaves 5z. And we know that we did it correctly because if we, let's write it up here. Let's see, 3 plus 5z. So if we distribute, that will give us 3x, and this one will give us 5xz, which is what we originally had. So we know that we did this correctly. Alright, and that leaves us with just y on the other side. Now we have x timesing all of this in the parentheses. And we want x by himself, and this is timesing him, so we need to divide by everything in the parentheses on both sides. So that will cancel and leave us with just an x on this side, which is exactly what we want. And then we'll just rewrite this because we can't combine anything over here. Alright, so x equals y over 3 plus 5z. Okay, we need to solve for x. So we're going to do exactly what we did last time. We're going to do the opposite of distributing. So we're going to take the x back out. So if we take x out, that leaves us with 5 and 4, and y on this side. Then we can divide by 5 minus 4. But actually, before we do that, we can simplify this right here inside the parentheses. Because 5 minus 4 is 1. And that's timesing right here still. It's in parentheses. And x times 1 is just x. So x equals y. Okay, we're going to take the x out of both of these. We're going to undistribute them. So if we take the x out of 2x, it's just 2. If we take the x out of kx, it's just k. And that equals m. So now these are timesing, so we need to divide 2 plus k on both sides. So these cancel right here, and x equals m over 2 plus k. Three plus 5x minus kx equals y. So both of these have x's, so we're going to undistribute them. So if you take the x out of 5x, it leaves you with x. You take the x out of, if you take the x out of 5x, it leaves you with 5. And then if you take the x out of kx, it leaves you with k. And then we have y on the other side, and then positive 3 over here. So now we have this timesing to x plus 3. So we need to get rid of our pluses and minuses first. So we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. That leaves x times 5 minus k equals y minus 3. And these are timesing, so now we divide. We've got k, 5 minus k over here. So we divide by 5. I keep writing k first. Minus k. That cancels, so it's x equals y minus 3 on the top and 5 minus k on the bottom. Okay, the formula for the surface area S of a rectangular prism is S equals 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH. Solve the formula for the length L. So we want L by himself. So everything that does not have an L needs to go to the other side right now. So these ones both have L, so we're going to keep them here. This one does not have an L in it, so we're just going to take him over there. That cancels, so on this side we have S minus 2WH equals, then we'll bring our 2LW plus 2LH. Now we want to undistribute our L. So we're going to take L out, and that will leave us with 2W. And take L out of this one, leaves us with 2H. Then we've got S minus 2WH. So we'll divide by 2W plus 2H on both sides. That cancels. So L is equal to S minus 2WH over 2W plus 2H. Solve A equals P times 1 plus RT for P. So we're solving for P here, which means we need P all by himself. So the first thing normally would be to distribute, but we don't want to distribute because we want P all by himself. So this is being times, so we need to divide by 1 plus RT on both sides. That cancels and leaves us with just P, which is exactly what we want. So we've got A and then 1 plus RT. Solve E equals MC squared for C. So we want C all by himself. So right now we can see that M is being times to the C squared. So we want to divide by M. So we have E over M equals C squared. Now to get rid of this square, we need to do the square root of both sides. So the square root will cancel this squared and leave just C. And then we'll still have the square root of E over M all in the square root. Solve F equals G times M1, M2 over R2. Okay, so these little numbers 1 and 2 just mean that M1 is different than M2. It's just like calling them X and W. They're two different things, so we cannot combine those. So we're solving for R here. So the first thing that we need to do, we can times this whole thing by R squared on both sides. So that will cancel, and that will give us F R squared equals G M1 M2. Now F is timesing to R, so we need to divide him. So we've got R squared equals GM1 M2 over F. So now to get rid of this square, we do the square root. So that gets rid of that. So we've got R equals the square root of GM1 M2 all over F, and that's in parentheses in here under the square root. Solve the formula for the indicated variable. The area of a triangle is A equals half the base times the height. So we want to solve for the H, or the height. So remember from the last lesson, in order to get rid of a fraction, we have to times by the reciprocal, which is just the fraction flipped upside down. So we need to times this by 2 over 1 on both sides. So that will cancel this, and will leave us with B and H, and then 2 over 1 is just 2. So 2 times A is 2A. Now B and H are being timesed, so we need to divide. That leaves us with just H on this side and 2a over